Well, the band's back together. Got Johnny Powell in the rear view. And we're I don't know when I'm posting this or when those other videos got posted, but I did like a 3 or 4 day scout of this route, which I think it's called the Voltar 380 or something. But that's what we were supposed to be doing. But there are roads that are still closed way back from Hurricane Fred. So Stony Fork is closed off the Blue Ridge, and then a long stretch that I was going to use to try to get back to sort of Mills River, Asheville area. So those are all closed, and that is a bummer. So we're doing like an alternate. We're kind of doing a little bit of the that ride I did to Martha Sundquist. We're doing some of that Hot Springs area. We just left my house 5 minutes ago. There's my fair city, and so we're doing that. And then I saw on Facebook someone posted that Parsons Branch Road, which has been closed for like 6 years, just opened. And so we're gonna go into the Smoky Mountain National Park and do that, see what that's all about. I don't know if it'll be worth it or not, and it's a lot of slab to get there. I think it's Route 421. I mean, it's cool, it's beautiful, but it's definitely slab. So that's about it. I'm psyched to get some riding in. It should be fun. Alright, I've adjusted my microphone because I'm so sick of hearing myself breathe. That's just in general. I'm so sick of hearing myself breathe. Anyway, so this is for me, this is a shakedown for the East Coast BDRs, which I hope to do end of August. And for Johnny Powell, it's a shakedown on his DR 650 for the Continental Divide ride, which he and Steve, who we met on the TAT, are doing, and I'm incredibly jealous because that is going to be epic, where my ride is going to be epic in probably a much different way. There's just something about the West that you can't get anywhere else. Those amazing wide open vistas and everything. I won't be getting much of that, although I'm hoping the East Coast BDRs surprise me. I'm not doing a lot of research on them. I'm not watching videos about them. So hopefully I'm going to be surprised, because what I'm expecting is a big, long woods tunnel. So I figure if I expect that, I should be pleasantly surprised at some point. But whatever it is, it's going to be fun. We're just coming off Town Mountain Road, and this is Blue Ridge Parkway. Anyway, we're headed sort of north-ish to Hot Springs to do that little loop. We'll go up Hurricane Gap and then down the river. And from there, we're going to decide if we're going to the road from hell, where I had all that trouble and the Jeep guys had to help me across. And I went down about 5 times or something. I haven't edited that footage yet, so I don't know how bad it is in the video, but it was bad. I got killed on that. So we might go do that, and we might just shoot straight across to Harmondale area and do that Martha Sundquist little loop and then camp somewhere. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure it out because you can't wild camp in the Great Smoky Mountain National Forest legally. And Johnny Powell said he took a look and it looked like all the campgrounds are full, as expected, so I don't know what's up. We're gonna figure it out. One thing I'll tell you is I'm not afraid of wild camping wherever anymore. I'm over that. It took a while, but after a couple times camping by myself, I'm down with it. I am down with the get down. Johnny Powell. It's our first ride, or second ride since the TAT, which is almost a year ago. And he's got his DR. Johnny Powell, first of all, are you missing the CT 125 right now?
No.
I'm not either. All right. So he's got his DR 650 that he's been working on, and tell us what's going on here, Johnny Powell.
The short version is this bike I have owned for 15 years, and it was kind of put up and unused for a long time. So after seeing Steve on the TAT with his DR, I got inspired to come back home and restore mine and get it going again. And so real quick, the motor is stock. I've added, skid plate and the body armor, new foot pegs, new lowered and rearward mounts. I got the Chirby's oversized gas tank, seat concept seat. I got new suspension front and rear, so the rear shock is the Cogent Mojave, and then in the front I have the Cogent springs with the DDC valves. New body work, bark busters, the windscreen. Basically, there's a company on the internet called ProCycle that are sort of DR 650 specialists, they consider themselves. And I just handed them my credit card and lots of boxes arrived. Got the dirt racks pannier mounts. A lot of little things like LED tail light and a smaller tail light assembly. The rear rack, which is called a Precision Cycle or something. And so I'm reusing the little Rotopacks that I had on the CT. Got the giant loop luggage. I think I like that. I got a little tool tube here with some extra tools and supplies for roadside maintenance. And then that's kind of it.
It's looking sweet, man. It looks mean.
It's been pretty fun to run to. Oh, and the other thing is I changed the I put a new chain and sprocket, so it's like it's geared for the off-road kind of like torque. But this is gonna be my first camping trip on it. It's really only done a couple of test rides and like one kind of gravel road trip, but this will be, it's for real test ride to try out, to make sure that I'm comfortable taking it, both in terms of like functionality but also reliability before going to the do the Continental Divide route.
Just stopped for some coffee and had the requisite motorcycle conversations with other old men. And now we're on Hurricane Gap. Were on this with me on the Martha Scramble ride. Alright, I'm trying out my Charlie Cinnamon rip-off mount. Anyway, that was the fire tower on the top of Rich Mountain. Such a good view. And we're riding kind of right along the Tennessee-North Carolina line. We keep popping in and out. And I only know that because my GPS, every time we go in a new state, it says helmet laws are a thing. I think that was Lemmy riding a bicycle. Back from the dead. That's the road right back there. That was the one that I went down on that ride and had to turn around because of the 3-foot deep puddle that I could not get around. think I could find a way to dump it into the river. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at all. That's the French Broad. Which travels south to north, which I think is kind of a weird thing for a river, isn't it? I don't know why, but I think it is. The weather is just perfect. Perfect temperature. Blue skies, beautiful. Loving it. And we just did Hurricane Gap, that section up to Paint Creek area. And now we're just cruising down the river to Hot Springs. I should probably fuel up there. Because I think once we get past like Trust, there's not much until we get to Cherokee. I'm not really sure about that, but Johnny Powell's dust is something I haven't experienced in a long time. I've missed it. Headed out of Hot Springs, got some gas, talked to more old dudes about motorcycles. Just met a guy, lives in Alaska, he's been on the road for 6 weeks. Rode from Alaska to here. And he said he's also done the Alaska to Argentina. Sick, epicness. Back on the dirt, it's what, 12:55? Been riding about 5 hours, and I think we're going to stay on the dirt for a while now. And this is, I don't know if you remember the day I went out in the blizzard. Up here a couple miles is where that, I don't think the video was working for some reason. I don't know if it got wet or it was too cold, but I took a photograph up here somewhere in the snow. And Max Patch is right up here, and I'm sure I've said it a billion times over and over. It's one of the best views in the world. Amazing 360 degree view. Beautiful. water break, and we're sort of in the middle of Martha Sundquist State Park. Right, came down out of Martha Sundquist, and now we're in Harmondale, and in a bit we're gonna cross 40 and head up towards Buzzard Roost. No. Well, we saw Buzzard Roost this time. Glad to have seen that. That's pretty crazy. Definite sense of like, I hope I don't jump off this. You think it's that? Okay. This is fairly gnarly. Oh shit. God, I hate mud. Because I suck at it so bad. Those cars were a good sign. I think it's going to be easier if they made it in here. That was really pretty tough. Pretty damn tough, I tell ya. Honestly, this is more my speed, man. I could do this all day long. I guess it's fun to have a couple of tough sections thrown in the mix, but so if you watched the Tat videos, then you know that I cut my own hair. I went through the whole spiel on one of those videos, just about how I hate being trapped in a chair with someone that you're like, you have to talk to. It's the worst thing in the world. To me, it's torture. So anyway, I cut my own hair. And I just last week gave myself a haircut, and it's possibly the worst job I've ever done. It's terrible. But when you get to a certain age and your looks deteriorate enough, it's kind of like, who cares? Nobody's looking at me anyway. You know, it does not matter one little bit. But when I was, I think, like, I've looked at the demographics of who watches my YouTube channel, and chances are good you're an old dummy just like me. That seems to be the demographic, old dummies. and so if you're around my age, I'm like I'm 54. This is the way you start thinking. I was giving myself a haircut, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder how many more times I'm gonna have to do this before I die. I'm thinking in terms of how many haircuts do I have left. You know what I mean? It's the countdown. It's the slow glide into the coffin. Although I'm not going to be in a coffin. All I'm saying is, if you're 20 years old and watching this, do everything. Do everything multiple times. I feel very good about my 20s. I did everything multiple times for sure. I have no regrets. No regrets. Plenty of remorse, no regrets. I get confused about what I say to you and what I've said to other people. So I don't know if I've said this to you or not before. Or maybe it was a conversation I was having with somebody else. Maybe it was a conversation I was having with my daughter. But I would like to vote for a restructuring of the world where when you turn 20, you get $3 million. And you can just, or maybe when you turn 18, you get $3 million. You can do whatever the hell you want until you are 40. $3 million should last you 20 years, right? Do whatever you want. Then when you turn 40, you get a job, and you start paying it back until the day you die. I don't know. I think I would take that deal, maybe. It just sucks because in your 20s, you're poor. Well, usually, I had no money. I was in a rock band. That was my job. And it's not a very good job as far as the financial aspect goes. In all other ways, it's the best job on the planet. But you got no money. You can't travel like you'd want to, you know? Man, if I had had money and time in my 20s, I don't know, I might have still been in a rock band. But now I have some money, a little bit, but you got to keep making money, get those kids through college, all that shit. So it's not like you can just chuck everything and hit the road, although my wife and I, it's all we talk about. All we talk about is the exit strategy. How are we getting out of all this? Oh. I think we'll get the kids through school. I think we've got that covered. Grad school, they're on their own. One wants to be a lawyer. The other one wants to be a vet. How we ended up with a doctor and a lawyer, I have no idea. It's mind-boggling. Our kids are so different than us. They're awesome. I think they probably saw us and were like, we do not want to be self-employed because it's horrible. Anyway, they're on their own for grad school unless something amazing happens financially. I think we just have to do it. I think we just have to chuck it all and see what happens. I mean, we can't live the rest of our lives on the money we have right now. So I'm not sure how that would work. But I know if we don't just do it, we're going to keep talking about it for another 15 years, and then it'll be too late. Not that it's too late for everything when you're 70, but you know. Anyway, I think our Parsons Road idea is being infringed upon by the time that we're taking on these forest roads. It's been nothing but dirt since 1 o'clock, 2.5 hours, and it's going to continue to be dirt right up until we get to Maggie Valley. And then there's a little pavement, get on the Blue Ridge for a minute, and then it's more dirt. There was some pretty squirrely gravel through there, and had I been on the CT-125, there would have been so much complaining about it. But I'm realizing the difference between the CT125 videos and the Himalayan videos, there is seriously like 90%, yes, 90% less complaining. My ass doesn't call anymore, at least not yet. I'm sure my ass will be calling on the East Coast BDRs, but I don't know, it's just so much more comfortable and not everything is a freaking struggle, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, Little Ugly Home Fry is a heroic bike, but I like this better. I'm just gonna say it. Don't tell her I said that, but actually last week I was thinking that maybe I should ride to Canada on that thing, but it passed quickly. I could definitely ride her there, but getting home would not be fun. And this is my summer of not shipping. Alright, we just came down from Catalucci. We had a good, let's see, 3 hours and 15 minutes of pure, unadulterated dirt. Here we are in Maggie Valley, getting some gas. There's the Wheels Through Time Motorcycle Museum that I am passing by for probably the 100th time without going in. Someday I'll check it out. Someday I'll also check out the Stompin' Ground. Just got a Subway sandwich in Maggie Valley. Now we're on the Blue Ridge Parkway, headed to Heintoga, whatever it's called. And Johnny Powell was talking about skipping this and going to Parsons, but this is really an amazing road that I kind of want him to check out. So we're doing it, and the problem with this route is that the end of the day puts you in a place where there's precious few campgrounds, and you're in Smoky Mountain National Forest, or whatever it is, National Park, and you can't just wild camp there. And so I don't know what we're gonna do as far as a place to sleep. It's 5:30. I'll bet it takes us at least an hour to do this next dirt section. 6:30. I think it starts to get dark around 8. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I told John, worst case, we drive to Gatlinburg, get a shitty motel, and drink in a dumb bar. Oh, by the way, I don't know why I had this in my brain, but you know how I've said before that I can't fly the drone in a national forest? Well, that is totally wrong. I don't know where I got that from. You can't fly it in national parks, which is where we are now. But you can fly it in the national forest. They all have different rules about taking off and landing, but the airspace is legal according to the FAA. So there you go. And I asked Pisgah what the deal was, and they said, because a lot of them have rules like you can't film or you can't use a drone for commercial use. And officially, YouTube is commercial use because, you know, I make a penny on these videos. So I just asked them, and they're like, something weird. They wouldn't really give me a straight answer because I don't know why, but he said unless you're using props and have an actor, that it's fine. So I don't know. God damn, look at it out there. I bet you can't even see it, but damn. But the national forest that you're not allowed to take off in, you can just be outside the boundary and fly over it all you want. Whereas a national park like Great Smoky Mountains National Park, you can't do that. The airspace above the park is restricted. So there you go. If you were wondering about that, which I'm sure you weren't. And so I haven't gone down today at all yet, knock on wood. And somehow my the switch for my fog lights got broken. I have no idea how that happened. And I'm pissed because it was a pain in the ass to wire. And I really don't want to have to do that again, but I think I'm gonna have to. we go. Some big boys. Tried Smoke Mount campground, totally full. I think we're screwed. We may actually have to go to Gatlinburg and motel it. That sucks. Alright, we checked out another campground. First of all, it's the place where the synchronous fireflies are, Elkmont. And if you haven't heard of that, it's like this weird phenomenon that only happens a couple of places in the world, where there's like a tribe of fireflies that blink on and off synchronously, like all at the same time throughout the forest. Kind of cool. My daughters have actually, my mom brought my daughters to see that, and it's cool. I think they might be a weird color too. I don't know, but anyway. So there was some kind of thing going on with that, where people were hiking out in the woods. You need a special permit and all this stuff. And then there were a billion park rangers around. And the campground is way full. And they're like, everything's full, forget it. And so we were going to go back to Gatlinburg, but if you've ever been to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, they're ridiculous. Like, it's very touristy, and I'm sure it's packed. So, one of the volunteer dudes recommended we go to Townsend, which is a little town. It looks like about 30 minutes away. So we're gonna go there and see what we can find. And it's 8:30, and it's gonna be dark soon. And that's where we're at. We're stupid. Poor planning, as usual. But it has been a beautiful ride today. I mean, from start to finish, just beautiful. And maybe there's something for me in Townsend. Maybe this was meant to be. You know? Maybe the answer to my how to exit making money, maybe that answer is in Townsend. I really doubt it, but you never know. I just hope we can find either a campground or a shitty motel that's not totally booked somewhere before 10 o'clock. That would be nice. I also asked the ranger, even though I already knew the answer, but I was like, so there's no dispersed camping anywhere, right? And he's like, no, you are not allowed to camp anywhere in this park other than designated campground. I think they're pretty hardcore in this place. But honestly, I need a stealth camping lesson, because I'm constantly like looking on the side of the road to see if there's a spot that might, work. And it's just like a spot that's flat, first of all. and then a spot where you could pull your bike in and hide it. And then, I mean, I don't come up with much. I don't come up with many choices. I need a lesson on that. Oh my god, my new favorite YouTuber, I can't even remember his name. Future Ange, what's that guy that? Anyway, it's stealth camping is his thing, and he just goes and camps in ridiculous places. Like he camped in a roundabout in a city, like in the bushes. He camped in a drainage duct, like a big pipe. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me. He camped somewhere and he slept in a body bag. The guy is so weird, and I'm kind of into it. And I make my daughters watch it. I make them watch all this ridiculous stuff. And I think they kind of like it, even though they won't admit it. Oh, this is one of those diesel dudes. Yep. Why? Just why? You know what I'm talking about? Where I don't know what they do to their engines or whatever, but if they gun it, black smoke just billows out, pollutes everything. If you drive a Prius, those dudes love to get in front of a Prius and just dump black smoke everywhere. I'm not sure what the point is. Like, what are they trying to say? You dumb person in a hybrid vehicle, I'll show you. This is just fucking stupid. The human race is disappointing. That's all I'm saying. John, just admit there's nothing new. I love that Mutt Lange also did Shania Twain. I mean, if the future is the 80s, then yes, this is the future. Prince was the future in like 1979.
Right, he became the future.
Yeah.
Well, he was the future then, and then he became the current. To be the future before you're the current.
You can only be the future for a certain amount of time.
Right. James Addiction were future.
That was a huge record.
Yes, they were future.
What about Gish?
77 million views.
I mean, we would know about it if there was something new.
Right, because we're old.
Because we're old and shitty. And my daughters wouldn't tell me if something was new. That would ruin it. If I knew, then it's no longer cool.
There was just one dude wearing like a choir robe. He had deer antlers. We haven't even seen the headliner yet, and the doorbell.
Oh, Dan the door bum. Dan the door bum.
Like came up.
Little Richard, Elvis, Beatles,
Kraftwerk.
Kraftwerk. I think you're right. I think you're right on that. Yes.
All right. Public Enemy. No. Run DMC.
Don't forget to check out the t-shirt and gear links in the description. And if you liked this video even a little bit, please subscribe, hit the like button and the alert bell. I don't have a clue how YouTube works, but I'm pretty sure that helps. Thanks for watching.